It's the kind of mess no one saw coming just when fans thought young Jock and Kendra were finally past the baby mama drama and secret wedding day scandals. Boom. The internet explodes with two wild plot twists at once. First, reports started swirling that Kendra's law firm is under federal investigation for pushing through shady home loans. We're talking serious legal heat, not just tabloid rumors. And as the story gains traction, people expected Jock to stand by his wife, right? Wrong. Instead, what does Jock do? He's allegedly caught in DMS clubs and even hotel lobbies cozying up to women who all look like carbon copies of Kendra, except they've got big new bbls and verified Instagram handles. And then it happened. A radio personality dropped a bombshell, exposing a string of texts and backstage videos that paint Jock as anything but loyal. Fans are shocked. The Love and Hip Hop crew is scrambling, and Kendra? She's gone silent, which, if you know her, says a whole lot. This is the story blowing up across Atlanta, with whispers of more receipts, secret meets, and betrayal at the highest level. And it all started with a post that Kendra never even saw coming. When rumors first began swirling about attorney Kendra Robinson being tied to a growing federal investigation, fans didn't know what to think. Kendra, who has always carried herself as the calm, collected, and hyper-professional half of her marriage to young Jock, suddenly found herself in the middle of a legal firestorm, and not the kind she usually defends. But just as people were trying to wrap their heads around that bombshell, Tasha K swooped in with a whole different kind of drama. And this one? It had everything: DMS, radio hosts, and women with suspiciously identical bbls allegedly linked to Jock. It all started when court documents surfaced online, claiming that a well-known Atlanta-based law firm was being quietly investigated for their alleged role in pushing through fraudulent home loans. And guess whose name came up repeatedly in connection to that firm? That's right, Kendra Robinson. While there's no official word that Kendra herself was personally involved, whispers suggest she may have unknowingly signed off on deals connected to individuals who are now under scrutiny. Fans who once praised her as the poised legal mind of love and hip-hop were now scrolling through forums trying to piece together what roles she could have played. Meanwhile, as Kendra tried to keep her head down and avoid the rising wave of gossip, young Jock decided it was the perfect time to act up. Again, Tasha K, always locked and loaded with receipts, dropped a video late one night that sent everyone into a frenzy. "I got texts, I got audio, and I got a list," she teased, before playing a voice note allegedly from a radio host in St. Louis named Kimmy Cakes. In it, Kimmy accused Jock of ghosting her after promising to show up for her birthday bash, a party she claimed was supposed to be their soft launch as a public couple. "We've been messing around for years," Kimmy's voice echoed through Tasha's stream. "But the moment I tell him I want to make things official, he disappears again. And I know about Kendra, I ain't new to this, but the lies? Nah." The voice note wasn't the only thing that had jaws dropping. Tasha followed it with a series of screenshots showing Jock's messages to Kimmy, messages full of flirty emojis, suggestive promises, and even one that read, "You know you my real piece. Ain't no drama with you." Fans couldn't believe it. How could Jock, with his entire life unraveling in public, still be moving so recklessly? And then came the visuals. Photos from Kimmy's Instagram, all public until suddenly they weren't, showed Jock at her studio, in her car, even a blurred shot that fans claim was him in her bed. The timeline was messy. Some shots were dated weeks after he renewed vows with Kendra on the show. Others overlapped with his baby mama drama from last year. And yet, in all of them, he looked relaxed, even joyful. Far from the stressed-out man who had just posted a cryptic message about feeling unappreciated and wanting to disappear. Kendra, who hadn't posted in days, finally broke her silence with a single story slide, a black screen with the words, "Truth always surfaces." Fans instantly read it as a shot at Jock, and maybe even her law firm. But the chaos didn't stop there. The very next day, an anonymous source sent in a tip to several Atlanta gossip pages, claiming that this wasn't the only woman Jock had been sneaking around with. Apparently, there's a whole pattern: multiple women, same aesthetic, bbls, lace fronts, and a radio mic or social media hustle. The term Jock's BBL lineup began trending within hours. As people dug deeper, connections started forming between Jock and a handful of influencers across Georgia, Florida, and even Texas. One TikToker compiled side-by-side photos of 5 different women, all with eerily similar features: who had posted cryptic captions referencing a married man with too many secrets. They all followed the same two people, Kimmy Cakes and Young Jock. Back on the Kendra side of things, the legal drama took an uglier turn. Someone leaked internal emails from her firm suggesting that several attorneys were being asked to step back while investigators reviewed recent closings. While nothing was confirmed, fans noticed that Kendra had taken down all mention of her law firm from her Instagram bio. She also unfollowed Jock, Scrappy, and even Tasha K, but she left Tasha's post up on her story. A silent nod, maybe? Emotions ran high when a former intern from Kendra's office spoke anonymously in an audio interview saying, "She always seemed so careful, so by the book. But I guess even smart women can get caught in some messy stuff, especially when your man's out here playing games." Fans were divided. Some defended Kendra, saying she was just getting caught in crossfire she didn't create. Others questioned how much she really knew about both the firm and about Jock. And then, just when people thought things couldn't get wilder, another curveball landed. A clip began circulating of Young Jock performing at a small club appearance, where he paused between songs to speak to the crowd. Slurring slightly, he said, "Y'all ever try to give your heart to somebody who don't believe you? Man, I gave my soul to her, but these strangers be louder than love." The crowd cheered, but online the reaction was colder. "Is this his apology or his excuse?" one comment asked. Another read, "You cheated, lied, and now you blaming Kendra for believing what she sees." Scrutiny on Jock's past behavior reignited, with fans resurfacing his old cheating scandals, including the infamous baby scandal he tried to pin on Future. Remember that? Turns out the timeline of that drama overlaps heavily with his alleged relationship with Kimmy Cakes. And now, with these new BBL connections coming to light, people are wondering just how many layers this story has. Kendra, for her part, hasn't denied or confirmed anything, but sources close to her are saying she's preparing for a major transition, both personally and professionally. One source claimed she's exploring a rebranding move, possibly leaving Atlanta and relaunching under a new firm name. Another hinted that she's already in talks for a limited docuseries focusing on women-in-law dealing with public scandal. The title floating around? Closing Arguments. As all of this played out online, the Love and Hip Hop production team reportedly held emergency meetings about how to handle the upcoming season. Insiders claim they're considering reshuffling the cast or dedicating multiple episodes to the fallout, and of course, producers are already pushing for a sit-down reunion between Jock, Kendra, Kimmy, and Tasha K, because if there's anything that sells, it's real-life receipts mixed with reality TV chaos. The fallout hit the blogs like wildfire. Social media timelines were flooded with clips, screenshots, and memes as fans tried to process every angle. It wasn't just Young Jock getting dragged now, it was the whole infrastructure around him. Producers, cast members, even his longtime friends were starting to get caught in the mess. And the energy online, pure chaos. Tasha K wasn't done. In a surprise Instagram live, she doubled down, claiming she had more on Jock and not just old receipts. "I got a voicemail from someone who was in the room when one of these girls got flown out," she said, sipping from her infamous wine glass. "And let's just say the details ain't pretty. Jock ain't just chasing BBLs, he running from accountability." The comments section went wild. Fans begged her to drop the audio, and though she didn't play the full voicemail, she offered a tease, a woman's voice saying, "He told me not to post nothing, said Kendra don't need to see this, but I already knew he wasn't hers." That one line sent the internet into another spiral. Conspiracy theories erupted about how long Jock had been keeping secrets, and just how many women were involved. One TikToker who claimed to be a cousin of one of Jock's alleged flings posted a video claiming that Jock paid for multiple procedures, including one BBL for women he was allegedly seeing behind Kendra's back. She held up what looked like Cash App transactions with Jock's name blurred out, but fans still recognized the photo in the profile circle. It was enough to get people talking, again, and while fans obsessed over Jock's trail of women, Kendra's situation was becoming increasingly serious. Legal blogs were now picking up the story, citing anonymous insiders claiming that investigators were zeroing in on 4 key files tied to the law firm, and that Kendra's signature was on at least 2. Again, there's no confirmation she knew about anything fraudulent, but the optics weren't good. Even worse, multiple clients from past closings were now allegedly being contacted for questioning. One Atlanta blogger claimed Kendra was seen at the courthouse with her mother, both looking visibly emotional. No cameras were allowed inside, but fans who spotted them said she looked exhausted, her face bare, her energy drained. That sight alone had people reevaluating the whole narrative. While Jock was out here making appearances, spinning DJs, and dancing at brunch sets, Kendra was navigating real legal stress. Back online, Love and Hip Hop fans started demanding answers. Why wasn't the show addressing the drama more directly? Where were the producers? One Reddit thread accused VH1 of trying to protect Jock's image by delaying the reunion episode. Another claimed that key footage of a confrontation between Jock and Tasha K had been edited out of an early cut. Whether those claims were true or not didn't seem to matter. Fans were convinced there was a cover-up brewing. In the middle of all this, Jock did something unexpected. He went live. In a dimly lit room with low music in the background, Jock looked straight into the camera and spoke slowly. "I know everybody talking, I know everybody got their opinions," he said. "But what y'all don't know is what goes on when these cameras off. When real life hit. I done made mistakes. I'm human. But I love that woman and I never meant for any of this to happen." The live didn't last long. Comments flooded in so fast he couldn't keep up. Some were sympathetic. Many weren't. One fan wrote, "If you loved her, why you out here? Building a BBL harem?" Another said, "We tired of men apologizing after the fifth woman exposes them." Within an hour of ending the live, Jock posted a now-deleted reel, a montage of him and Kendra's wedding clips, overlaid with a voiceover of him saying, "What we built was real, even if I lost sight of it." The comments section turned into a battleground. Friends, ex-cast members, and strangers alike weighed in. Scrappy commented with a simple, "Prayers up, bro." But Tasha K wasn't having it. She reposted the clip with the caption, "Prayers ain't gonna fix this. Honesty might." As the pressure mounted, another twist dropped. A former employee of Jock's management team, who had remained anonymous until now, spoke on a podcast about the strategic image building they had done to protect Jock over the years. "We used to scrub mentions of girls," the employee said. "Delete comments, remove tags. We knew the pattern. He liked a certain type. We just didn't want the press to catch on." This bombshell sent fans into another tailspin. So it wasn't just random cheating. It was allegedly a whole behind-the-scenes effort to make him look clean while Kendra stood by his side. The betrayal felt deeper now, calculated, and it painted Kendra not just as a victim of infidelity, but someone who may have unknowingly participated in a long con. Fans weren't the only ones upset. Apparently, a close friend of Kendra's, someone she grew up with in Savannah, took to Facebook in a now viral post, saying, "I told her years ago he wasn't built for her level. She thought love could change him." The post ended with a photo of them at a college party, both smiling wide, with a caption that read, "From courtrooms to chaos." She deserved better. As pressure intensified, the show's producers could no longer stay silent. In an official post on the network's social page, they announced that the next reunion would include an unfiltered segment dedicated to recent events, including the investigation, the allegations, and the personal turmoil. They tagged all the main players: Kendra, Jock, Tasha K, Kimmy Cakes. Fans rejoiced, but Kendra remained quiet. Behind the scenes, rumors began swirling that Kendra was considering filing for separation. Nothing was confirmed, but her silence spoke volumes. She was no longer defending him, no longer correcting narratives, no longer posting curated couple content. She was just quiet. And that quiet had fans more nervous than any rant ever could. As the narrative spun out further, a new woman emerged from the shadows. Not a radio host, not an influencer. Just a regular woman who claimed to have met Jock at an event in Dallas 2 years ago. She didn't come forward with screenshots. She came forward with a baby. The woman, whose identity was partially blurred in the now viral video, didn't scream or cry. She sat in a modest living room, baby on her lap, and calmly explained her side. "I'm not trying to go viral," she began. "I just want the truth out. He knows this is his son." She claimed she and Jock had a brief fling during an industry party weekend, that they kept in touch sporadically, and that when she told him she was pregnant, he told her to keep it quiet and let him handle things. The internet exploded. It wasn't just her words, it was the baby's face. Fans immediately started doing side-by-side comparisons, matching the child's features to Jock's older kids. The baby's cheeks, his eyes, even the curl pattern in his hair were placed under intense public scrutiny. Hashtags like #JOCSBaby and #MenDeeCESPT2 began trending, drawing parallels to another infamous love and hip-hop scandal, Yandy Smith. Herself, though not directly involved, liked a post that simply said, "How many more kids are these men hiding?" And fans caught it fast. Within minutes, her like had made its way to Twitter threads and blog headlines. Was she shading Jock? Was she reflecting on her own drama with Mendices? Either way, the moment amplified the chaos. Kendra still hadn't spoken, but Kimmy Cakes wasn't staying quiet. In an unhinged Instagram story series, she posted clips of her DMS with Jock, some dating back to late 2022. The screenshots showed Jock complimenting her body, asking when she'd be in town again, and promising to fly her out once things calmed down at home. One message read, "I can't lie, you my piece. She just my obligation." That line hit hard. Women flooded the comments, tagging Kendra, asking how many more receipts it would take for her to walk away. Even some of Jock's own fans began turning on him, not because of the cheating, but because of the timing. You left your wife, hanging during a federal investigation just to run behind bbls? One comment read, "This ain't love, this is sabotage." Tasha K returned with another live, this time bringing in a guest, a former hairstylist from the show who allegedly overheard conversations between Jock and his assistant. According to her, Jock had been stressed for months, not because of Kendra's situation, but because he knew too many people were holding secrets. He always be like, "Yo, I hope she don't talk. What if she flip on me?" It was like he was scared of his own roster. The stylist also claimed Jock kept a burner phone, one he allegedly used strictly for communicating with women not saved under their real names. She didn't have screenshots, but she did describe the phone. Cracked screen, no case, always face down. By now, the entire narrative had evolved. What started as marital strain had grown into an expose on deception, image control, and double lives. Bloggers ran wild. One adult-based gossip site published a timeline of alleged affairs, overlapping them with love and hip-hop filming dates. Another site even put up a poll, should Kendra leave now or wait until after the feds finish their thing? Amidst all this, a new interview surfaced, a sit-down with one of Jock's exes who had remained silent until now. She didn't bring receipts, but she brought emotion. "He always made you feel like you were the only one until you weren't," she said. "And by the time you realize it, you already gave up so much of yourself trying to prove you were different." Her words struck a nerve. Fans reposted clips with captions like, "Kendra, blink twice if you need help." The empathy grew deeper. People weren't just mad at Jock anymore. They felt protective over Kendra. They wanted her to win, to rise above, to make a statement not just for herself, but for every woman who'd been made to question her worth in silence. Finally, someone from Kendra's side spoke. Her cousin, who'd been silent up until now, posted a simple black square with white text. "When God removes people from your life, don't chase after the lesson, just heal." It wasn't a full statement, but it was enough. Blogs ran with it. Was this confirmation that Kendra was done? Was this the quiet clapback everyone had been waiting for? If so, fans were ready to rally behind her. But just when the narrative looked like it was shifting in her favor, another curveball dropped. Someone leaked audio of Jock allegedly yelling during a phone call. It wasn't clear who he was speaking to, but he was clearly upset, saying, "Man, I'm tired of this. I've been good to her all these years and she still act like I'm the bad guy. They just trying to tear me down." The audio hit all the major gossip outlets within hours. Opinions split fast. Some fans argued that Jock was clearly breaking under pressure, that maybe he deserved grace. Others weren't having it. "You tired?" One fan commented under a repost, "She tired of protecting you while fighting federal fires." Accusations, but she did post a blurry photo of her and Jock sitting in a car late at night. She said they'd been talking for a few months, but that he ghosted her once rumors about the investigation started heating up. By this point, even Jock's inner circle began to retreat. Scrappy deleted multiple posts that featured Jock, and another Love and Hip Hop cast member, who usually defended Jock, tweeted, Sometimes you gotta let people drown in the lies they built. As for Kendra, her silence remained deafening. She was seen briefly outside a courthouse, no cameras, no comments. She wore dark glasses, a beige coat, and walked with purpose. Fans praised her strength, saying she carried herself with more grace than anyone expected given the circumstances. The narrative online shifted once again. Now, instead of just clowning Jock, fans were uplifting Kendra. Hashtags like #KendraStrong and #ProtectBlackWomen began trending. Fan pages popped up overnight with inspirational quotes, throwback pictures, and calls to support her law practice once she made it through the storm. And just when fans thought this circus couldn't spin any faster, another curveball rolled in. One of Kendra's former legal interns, who had remained silent during most of the chaos, suddenly dropped a voice memo on Instagram stories, a voice memo she claimed was from a private lunch meeting with Kendra a few months back. The hashtag voice memo on Instagram stories. A voice memo she claimed was from a private lunch meeting with Kendra a few months back. Audio, though slightly muffled, allegedly featured Kendra saying, "I don't trust half the men around me anymore, especially not Jock. But I gotta keep smiling because image is everything in this business." Fans immediately took this as further confirmation that Kendra had been suppressing her suspicions for far too long, and for what? For a man whose loyalty wobbled every time a BBL walked past? The audio spread like wildfire. Within hours, Tasha K reposted it with the caption, "Even her team knew. Y'all still believe Jock's tears?" Under that post, the comment section became a battlefield. Fans were choosing sides, some defending Jock, saying everyone makes mistakes, while others unleashed full-blown fury. One comment read, "Nah, this man cheated, lied, and then cried like he was the victim. How many BBLs does it take for Kendra to finally walk away?" Another said, "He ain't chasing clout, he chasing curves." Meanwhile, the streets of Atlanta were buzzing. Local gossip blogs dug up more receipts from women allegedly linked to Jock over the past 2 years. One woman, a bottle service girl named Lexi, even went live from her car to spill her own story. "He told me he was unhappy that his wife never touched him anymore," she claimed, holding back fake tears. "I didn't even know he was still married. He was telling me he was filing papers, that he just needed time to get out of a toxic situation." Fans weren't buying it, not the story, not the tears, not the excuse. The comment section roasted her so hard, she turned off the live mid-sentence. And while Jock stayed suspiciously silent for a couple of days, Kendra made her first subtle move, unfollowing him on all platforms. No press statement, no posts. Just a digital disconnect that sent shockwaves through their shared fanbase. You know it's real when the follows vanish. And people noticed. Within minutes, screenshots of her empty following list hit every gossip page. It didn't stop there. A close family friend of Kendra's posted a cryptic message on their Instagram story. "Sometimes silence is the loudest scream." No tag, no name. But everyone knew exactly who it was about. People speculated that Kendra was in deep emotional pain, processing the public embarrassment, while also dealing with legal investigations that could jeopardize her entire career. Then came a shocking twist. Young Jock posted a reel. In it, he was seen standing on a rooftop at sunset with a moody track playing in the background. He looked into the camera and said, "Truth always finds the light, even when folks try to bury it under lies." The caption? "I've been quiet too long." The internet exploded. People begged for clarification. Was this a confession? A warning? A promise? Fans couldn't tell, but the speculation ran wild. And just when people were dissecting that video frame by frame, Jock went live, and what he said left everyone stunned. "Look," he said, staring into the camera, "I ain't perfect. Never claimed to be. But people out here running with fake stories like they know my life. Like they know what me and Kendra been through. Y'all think a post or a clip tells. The whole truth? Nah. Some of y'all just want a reason to hate. But I've always tried to protect my family, even when it hurt me." It sounded sincere. It even made some fans pause and rethink. But then, during that very live, someone dropped a bomb in the comments, a screenshot of a booking confirmation. Jock allegedly booked a trip for 2 to Miami just last week. During the same weekend, Kendra was dealing with investigators. And the passenger name? Not hers, not even close. Fans zoomed in and caught a blurry but readable name. Kimberly D, the same name linked to one of his earlier flings. The chat section imploded. Kendra, meanwhile, had yet to speak publicly, but her silence was louder than ever. Someone close to her leaked a group chat message where she allegedly said, "I'm focused on protecting my license and my peace. I'm not going to break in public for a man who broke every promise." Fans rallied behind her. They started tagging her in posts with messages like, "You deserve peace," and "We stand with you, Queen." Others began unfollowing Jock in droves, and his comment sections were filled with clown emojis, broken heart gifs, and one-liners like, "From Mrs. Robinson to Mistress Rotation." Tasha K, of course, wasn't done. She dropped another episode on her channel, this time titled The BBL Betrayal Files. She claimed there was more footage coming, this time with a timeline breakdown of Jock's suspected affairs complete, with screenshots, voice memos, and hotel check-ins. Fans couldn't wait, the countdown was on. But in a surprising moment of vulnerability, Jock shared a photo of his kids and captioned it, "Everything I do for them." Sometimes we fail, but we never stop trying. It was his most liked post in months, but even that drew mixed reactions. While some applauded the family man image, others commented, "Maybe stop doing everything for the BBLS instead." Behind the scenes, production insiders from Love and Hip Hop claimed that the showrunners were already in talks about how to address this mess in the upcoming reunion. There were whispers that both Jock and Kendra might be asked to sit for separate interviews. One insider said, "This is gold for ratings, but it's also real-life heartbreak. We gotta be careful how we handle it." And with the legal case tied to Kendra's firm still unraveling, the producers were reportedly scrambling to figure out how much they could legally air. As all this unfolded, a new character entered the mix, a former assistant of Jock's named Alana, who claimed she had witnessed several of his alleged hookups firsthand. She posted a cryptic video with the caption, "I stayed quiet out of loyalty. But loyalty shouldn't make you a fool." In the video, she didn't name names, but she described a certain Atlanta artist who loved women with work done, hated being questioned, and had a soft spot for ladies with radio mics. Fans instantly made the connection. As the internet pieced together every detail, every like, every unfollow, every slip-up, one thing was clear: this wasn't just a scandal, it was a collapse. A real-time unraveling of a marriage, a reputation, and possibly a career. And through it all, the only thing louder than the drama was the silence between two people who once said, "I do," but now couldn't even say, "I'm sorry." What just happened in Atlanta has left everyone shook. From federal investigations to BBL side chicks, this saga has gone far beyond your average reality TV drama. Fans are still trying to catch their breath while receipts continue to surface daily. The silence from Kendra feels like a warning shot, and young Jock's late-night posts only add fuel to a fire that's already blazing out of control. Was this just a rough patch gone public, or are we watching the slow, messy collapse of a couple that once had viewers rooting for them? With insiders leaking audio clips, ex-assistants dropping cryptic confessions, and Tasha K threatening to release more BBL betrayal content, it seems like the truth is only getting darker. And the real question is, will either of them speak publicly, or will they keep playing this emotional chess game for the world to see? This ain't just about gossip, it's about betrayal, ego, image, and survival. What happens next could decide the fate of Kendra's career, Jock's reputation, and even the future of their love and hip-hop storyline. Fans are watching, receipts are stacking, and nobody is safe from the next twist. But now we wanted to hear from you. Do you believe Jock's emotional posts are genuine or just damage control? Is Kendra finally done for good, or is there still a chance she might take him back? And what do you think about all these new women stepping forward with receipts? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you are just as stunned as we were, and don't forget to subscribe for more wild reality TV breakdowns. The drama's just heating up, and trust,